Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is a game where Mittens face Mittens. I think this is Mittens, not me. There was a brilliant, and the end is so disrespectful. So, the game started e4, g6, the modern, I believe. Then d4, they fianchettoed their bishop to g7. I'll go to the review so I can see, make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. Knight c3, c6, knight f3, and pawn to d5. This is the main line. And then h3 is played. And then knight h6 seemed like a really weird move to me. And as the evaluation says, it's already like +1. I wonder what, yeah. The bishop's developed to f3. Then pawn takes here. And now Mittens captures with his knight. Knight f5's played. And now pawn to c3 is played. It's still point. Now we get castling, short castles from Mittens, who's playing as black. Now we have bishop g5, which I think is his first, or I think it's their first, not accurate move. Now pawn h3 played, bishop drops back to f4. Knight goes to d6, which was a weird move when it, initially. I don't know what the plan was here. Stockfish thinks so too. Almost a plus 1.7 advantage here. But Mittens takes with the knight, which is +1, which is huge for Mittens. And then the knight gets recaptured by the pawn. And now short castles. Now bishop to e6. Rook e1, just file here. And then knight a6, maybe trying to reroute the knight in the future. I would have played here and then probably here. But knight d2 is played, trying to reroute the knight here. And yes, Mittens does try to reroute the knight to c7, as well as the other Mittens, who plays knight to e4. Brilliant is coming up, I believe. Knight e8 is played. Queen a4. A lot of inaccuracies so far. And the evaluation was 0.5 there, now it's 0.9 after pawn b5 is played, attacking the queen. Now the queen just goes back to d1. Bishop d5 is played, hitting the knight. Queen d2 is played, which I think is 3 queen moves in a row. Now this move is played, which is really interesting, because the knight has 1 square. Knight g5. Where's that bishop gonna go after pawn g5? Here? Nope. I mean, technically here. But Mittens doesn't do that. He sacrifices the bishop. Mittens takes. But now do this check. King h8 is gonna move. If you go here, you get mated. So that's the only move. Now it's a 4, and it's an exchange. Oh, but this is actually a really cheeky move, as Frank would say. Threatening, which is blocked. Then Mittens takes the knight on f8. Now this move really surprised me. Pawn a4, but it's the best move. I just misclicked. Imagine if I did that in game. Oh, so then pawn b4 is played. Then queen d3. Just some shuffling of pieces here. Knight c7 is played. And then a bishop trade. I thought that it recapture here with the knight. But this is the best move. Pawn takes. The material is equal here. This Mittens has a rook and a pawn for a bishop and a knight. Pawn to a6 is played. Then rook b4. And rook d8. And queen f. Oh my god, f3. Threatening this pawn in the future. Now rook pawn h5. This attacks the knight. And it just defends it. And the advantage here is slowly growing. Because it was 0.5. Over here it says 1.7. So queen d3 is played. Now pawn h4, maybe trying to start an attack. But as we can see here, over here it's 0.9, 0.1. Over here 1.4. Queen f3 is played. I think just shuffling. And king h2. Here, I thought black was winning. But the bishop has nowhere to go. That's the issue. And this knight. Now white goes for a queen trade, which is happily accepted. And it's just a rook and a pawn versus two bishops. And then all the trade goes. King up is played. The other Mittens also brings their king. The king is feeling adventurous. And a mistake. Blunders a draw. Rook a1. Oh no. But it was a miss. As bishop e7 was played, giving all the advantage back. Now, pawn f3 is played. Not sure why. King f6 played. Rook e1, cutting off the king potential. And attacking that bishop. But king f8 played. Rook a7 is played, attacking this pawn if the knight ever moves. Now bishop d8 is played, defending the knight. Rook b7 is played, shuffling. I thought there was going to be a draw here as well. Rook g5 or bishop g5 is played, defending both of his pawns. Rook b6 is played, attacking both pawns. Now rook d8 is played, and rook b7. Then rook d7. So at this point, I thought it was going to also be a draw again. Rook b8 is played, and then bishop f6. And just some more shuffling. Rook f6. King g6. Nothing really exciting here. Rook a1. Bishop g5. Rook to a4. Bishop f6. There's a big moment coming up, if I remember correctly. So we can see here. Rook c6. And rook e7. Look at the advantage now. Pawn takes. Just up material. But then rook e2. How are you going to defend that pawn? Mittens ignores it and plays king h2. The pawn's taken. The material is now even. The rook a5 is played. And rook to e5. He takes the pawn. If you take like this, take like that. If you take like this, take like that. So it's just going to be a trade of routes. No! Pawn h3? What? What kind of a move is that? The rook's taken. Sure, it's recaptured. But now you're just up 2 pawns. Knight c6. Here comes the attack. Bishop can't take because of a pin. It comes. The pawn's rolling down the board. This pawn's covered. The pawn keeps pushing. There goes the pawn. H5. Who's gonna stop those G and H pawns? The bishop? But the king's now coming. Oh no. Oh no. 3 connected. To attack knight, knight c5 played to attack the rook. The rook attacks the knight. The knight moves with check. Now the king moves up to f5. The knight goes back to d7 to attack the rook. The rook goes back to counterattack the knight to d7, or rook d7. Also, I guess attacking the bishop. Knight drops back to e8. Check. King is forced to go to g8. Now it's setting up a mating net. The pawn pushes. The rook defends. The bishop gives a check to the king. The king just moves. Bishop goes back. Rook takes. The only thing black can hope for is a draw. That's not going to happen. Slides down to d7. Bishop to h6. That rook hits the bishop. Knight plays check. King to e5. And now the bishop goes all the way to c1. The advantage is 7. That's all she wrote. h6. Check. King moves out of the way. The advantage is 10. To king to d5. The knight goes there. Check to the rook. The king slides over. The king goes to e6. King d7. Check on f8. And king c7. Rook f5 attacking the knight. The knight is taken. Now the pawns will march down the board. They sacrifice the rook to promote. And now Mittens is really disrespectful here. Brings his pawns up. And then proceeds to back rank checkmate the other Mittens. And this is messed up. So apparently Mittens played like a 1200 and the other one played like a 1400. Even though they probably played like 3000s. But it's because I'm a 1600 and technically Mittens is 1 elo. Like what? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any video ideas, let me know down below. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.